Hello, hello, hello. What's up, crazy babies? Welcome to another episode of Jam Sessions with your host, Joe Micah, yours truly. So first of all, I want to start off by reminding everybody to get Voss's Animarum, a new psychological thriller. It's the first of a 7-book series by the author Martin Hoyle. It is available on Amazon right now. You can also contact me to order one of these limited edition black box sets. It is a very cool experience and a very, very extremely limited and cool collector's edition that comes with so many cool features. But this is the book, Voss's Animarum by Martin Hoyle, available on Amazon.com. So be sure to check that out. It's definitely something you're going to want to grab. It's an amazing book. Without further ado, though, today's episode is with Miss Joni B. Cole. She is the author of Party Like It's 2044, and really excited to have her on today. And without further ado, I'm going to jump off here and let you get to meet her and hear about her book. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, crazy babies. Welcome back to another episode of Jam Sessions with yours truly, Joe Micah. I am super, super excited to have with me today Miss Joni B. Cole, and she is the author of Party Like It's 2044. That book is on Amazon.com, as well as some other locations I'm sure she can tell us. Hi, Miss Joni. How are you? Welcome today.
I am fine, Joe. I'm so excited to be on this show.
Well,
it's kind of like north meets south because you're down south and I'm up in Vermont.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. And that's my catchphrase, by the way. So if you hear me say absolutely, enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on with us today and give us the opportunity to get to know a little bit about you and your book. I'm excited to hear about that. So with Party Like It's 2044, what is this book in essence?
Sure. It's a collection of literary humor essays, though the humor is just accidental because it's not a funny book per se, but a lot of the reviewers, that's the first thing they talk about. But it's personal essays. So, you know, funny stories or not so funny stories about my life and things that hopefully will resonate with readers as well. And so all over the place, from me fearing that I'm an actual distant relative of Vlad the Impaler to, you know, just a birthday celebration that went totally awry to cute animal videos and how the world has gone nuts for him. So they're all over the place, but there's sort of an underlying theme as well to the book.
Okay, fantastic. And now I understand you're the author of 7 books total. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This being one of them.
Okay, and this is your latest publication. That's really cool because I know even reading the reviews myself, I did zone in on the humor aspect of it. But from what I understand, it has a real life experience for you attached to it. So it's interesting that the humor theme is what people are kind of targeting or zoning in on. So I'm excited to pick up the book and read it, actually.
Oh, good. Yeah, the humor aspect is quite prominent, but it wasn't what I set out to write necessarily. Oh, I'm going to write a funny book. But I do think that humor is everywhere in life and, you know, life and death. And so I think much of that humor comes from being just really observant, the way people act and think and behave sometimes, and including paying attention to the thoughts that keep racing through my head throughout any given day. And I think that authenticity of really kind of capturing people the way they are, including myself, is where that humor came through, even though many of the subjects of the essays themselves is a little bit more thoughtful or reflective or even difficult or challenging. So, but I'm thrilled that people think it's hilarious. So
yeah, well, you know, even Mary Poppins said a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So maybe a little bit of humor is exactly what you need to be able to process some of those stories. And honestly, if you can't not take yourself seriously, you're gonna be up against the wall a lot of times. You got to be able to laugh at life. So now, what inspired the title? What is the meaning of the title, Party Like It's 2044?
Yeah, well, I don't want to give too much away. It's a great question, but it has to do with my birthday celebration where I was just inundated by cards from friends, which sounds great. but all of them were talking about, oh, another year, oh, aging, oh, this. Oh, and it's actually a cultural phenomenon that some people are trying to change, which is this negative approach to birthdays and aging. So I had wanted, of course, a big party, and I love my birthday. I celebrated all month long, but these cards and these reactions kept bringing me down. So it's a little bit related to our culture and how we often will, after someone dies, go to a gathering in celebration of their life. And yet, while they're still alive, very often we treat it as this thing to be depressed about because it's another birthday. So it's a very typical essay, in that it's about a subject that I find pretty serious, how we approach aging in our culture, particularly our Western culture. But it's also one of the funniest essays. So there's a personal story, but then there's a deeper, more underlying message in it.
Absolutely. And I love that. And you're right. And that's even something I've had to start to learn. Yeah. I mean, I've entered my 40s this past year, and you automatically want to have this devastating mindset. And I'm trying to embrace that and love it. And I think it's wonderful that you are helping encourage and motivate that change in perspective. Now, as the author, do you have a favorite segment of the book? Something you would put out there as a teaser that readers could look forward to coming across when they're reading this book?
Yeah. Joe, that's a funny question for me to think about, because I get asked that frequently, and it's a very good question, but it's kind of like asking which kid is your favorite. It depends on the day or whatever. One thing, so I don't, some were really more meaningful to me because they just made me emotional. They might have been about a story in my life that really resonated with me. Others maybe because I did a really good job of them, or others because they were more leaning towards funny. One thing that's been interesting, though, as a writer and somebody who just put out a collection of essays, is the response from readers. I really get such a wide variety of people writing and saying, oh, this one was my favorite, or that one was my favorite. And that's been really gratifying to know the book doesn't just hinge on 2 or 3 really good ones, or ones that really resonate. And I'm sometimes surprised by some of the essays that people will say are their favorites, because they might have been a little more experimental in my view, or whatever. I like how I'm doing this, but it's a little more academic or a little more experimental in form. But that's been a neat experience to get those diverse responses. So.
Yes. And I think that's so accurate too. I've experienced that in my own journey as well. There have been things that I didn't think would get any attention at all that end up, getting a certain level of attention that was surprising to me. So I think that's a great neutral answer. And I've actually compared that question myself previously to also asking a parent, which kid is your favorite? And I'm like, you don't have to tell me, but we all secretly know we have one. But no,
it depends on the day, man.
Right, it does, exactly. Now, give us an interesting tidbit about Joni. Other than this very interesting tidbit, you're an author, and Party Like It's 2044 is a great, exciting book that's out there. But we want to know a little bit about the author herself. What is something the fans may not know about you?
Well, if you're a reader of Party Like It's 2044, you know a lot about me. Some responses are, oh, I can't believe you were willing to share that or reveal that. But I'm kind of an open book. But because Party Like It's 2044 is often touted for the humor, this is surprising to me that I don't think in real life people wouldn't go around saying, oh, she's so funny.
That's great.
If you live with me, you might think, oh, she's a bit of a grouch.
That's awesome. That's really great. And I think I love the irony and the poeticism behind that.
Yeah, it's funny. But I do think anyone is funny if they're observant. If they really can watch people or pay attention to their own thoughts and put them down authentically, then there's a lot of humor everyone can tap into. But beyond that, everyone knows I'm a cat nut. Pretty, and in fact, my cat helps me write all the time. And so I'll tell you now, police dramas, procedural dramas. I watch them. I'm like addicted to them. Like I'm watching The Rookie now, the older version of The Rookie. So yeah, that's my little secret addiction.
Okay, beautiful. Hey, I think there's a lot of
addiction. So
yes, I think my mother would actually agree with you on that. So now we'll wrap it up with this question. what's next for you? Are there any big projects underway, literary or otherwise, that readers and fans can expect?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Well, I teach writing, so I'm always writing or always teaching online or all over the place. So that takes up a good bit of my work lifetime. But I'm working on another collection of essays. I'm lucky enough to have a contract. And it's funny, you'd think it would come much easier because I just finished a book, it's out, it's doing well. But same old, same old. You just got to put in the time and trust the creative process. And so that's what I'm doing. That's going to be much of my 2024.
2024. Well, that is exciting to hear. And anybody that is a fan of yours, I know will be on the edge of their seat awaiting the arrival of that next project. But in the meantime, right now, you can go to Amazon.com. Now, is there anywhere else that you could point out that readers could also get a copy of Party Like It's 2044?
Really, wherever books are sold. If you go to your independent bookstore, they might have to order it. Clearly, independent stores don't stock every book, but they can easily order it, or any of the online vendors, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, as you mentioned. So the any independent store online. So yeah, you can get it pretty much. You know what they say, wherever books are sold. Also, there's the audio version came out about a month ago. And there's also a e-version. So any format you'd like to read in, I would love for you to test the book. And that's the other thing. I love to hear from readers. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, you've got I noticed on Amazon, you have a very high amount of reviews. So people are saying great things about this book. I definitely encourage you to go out there, get you a copy. And if you do get a copy, like she said, leave Joni a review. We do love to hear. Absolutely. We love to hear about our work and hear what people have to say about it. But it also, like I've said many times before, and I'll always say, it helps the algorithm and it keeps that book being pushed out there to the forefront. So thank you so much, Miss Joni. We appreciate you coming on today and letting us to get to know a little bit about you and Party Like It's 2044. And hopefully we will see you when your next book comes out.
Thank you, Joe, so much. Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye, crazy babies. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. She was absolutely fantastic. It was wonderful having her on. I highly suggest that you go out and get a copy of Miss Joni B. Cole's book, Party Like It's 2044. One place we all know to go is Amazon.com. It is available there. And like she said, wherever books are sold, I'm sure independent bookstores can order you a copy if they don't have one there physically. But make sure you go out and get a copy of her book and show her some love. And until next time, crazy babies, thank you. Stay absolutely fantastic. Bye.